Gaza is once again under fire. Entire families wiped out, hospitals bombed, aid blocked. Just as US President Donald Trump left the region without securing a ceasefire, Israel launched a fresh and devastating ground offensive. Operation Gideon's Chariots.
בסוף להגיע למצב שיש לנו אזור שנשלט כולו על ידי צה"ל, וכל האוכלוסייה האזרחית של עזה יכולה להגיע לשם ולקבל את הסיוע כשהחמאס לא מקבל כלום. זה חלק מהכרעת החמאס במקביל ללחץ הצבאי האדיר, הכניסה המסיבית שלנו, בעצם להשתלט על כל עזה ולהוריד את החמאס מכל היכולת לבזוז סיוע הומניטרי. זו תוכנית המלחמה והניצחון.
The operation aims to wipe out Hamas, but the cost? Human lives, starvation, global condemnation. And this time, global reactions have been sharp.
Let me separately address the question of Gaza, because it is a really serious, unacceptable, intolerable situation. And that's why we are working intensely to coordinate with other leaders how we respond to this, because it is intolerable, it is unacceptable, and we will continue to work in that way.
On Monday, the leaders of the UK, France and Canada issued a rare warning to Israel. Stop the offensive or face consequences. They warned of targeted sanctions if Israel doesn't allow more aid and halt military operations. Netanyahu lashed out, accusing them of rewarding Hamas and inviting more atrocities. But analysts say the message is clear. Western patience is wearing thin.
On Gaza, the humanitarian situation in Gaza is unacceptable. For 2 months now, no humanitarian supplies have entered Gaza. Aid must reach civilians in need immediately, and the blockade on Gaza needs to be lifted now, because humanitarian aid must never be politicized. And we are calling for a resumption of the ceasefire and the immediate release of the hostages so that a permanent end of the hostilities can be finally achieved.
The United Nations is even more direct. Aid Chief Tom Fletcher accused the global community of watching a genocide unfold. He asked the Security Council, will you act to prevent genocide, or will you later say, we did all we could? It's one of the strongest UN condemnations of Israel's actions to date. Back in Qatar's Doha, negotiations continue, but clarity is missing. One Hamas official said a hostage for prisoner deal was on the table, another denied it hours later. Israel's defense minister says the new offensive is why Hamas came back to talks, but without mutual compromise, a ceasefire is unlikely. Israel insists Hamas must surrender and disarm. Hamas demands a total ceasefire with international guarantees and no more occupation. 2 red lines, no bridge in sight. This latest wave of violence began just as US President Donald Trump concluded a high-profile tour of West Asia. He visited Saudi Arabia, Qatar and the UAE, but not Israel. Why? Because Trump was betting on Gulf allies to pressure Hamas into a deal. In Doha, even though indirect talks resumed between Israel and Hamas, nothing came out of it. As Israel pushes deeper into Gaza, as bodies pile up and as world leaders debate diplomacy, one question remains. What's the endgame? Netanyahu says it's total victory. Trump says Gaza should be a freedom zone. The UN says famine and genocide are imminent.
احنا قاعدين كل يوم بنموت على البطيء. أي إنسان في الكرة الأرضية بيقدر يعيش اللي بيعيشه الإنسان في غزة، ما أعتقدش حدا بيقدر يتحمل اللي إحنا متحملينه. اليوم 2 سنين من الحرب، جوع، قتل، دمار، تشريد. كلنا أبرياء، كلهم مدنيين عزل قاعدين بيشردوا فينا.
But for the people of Gaza, families sleeping in rubble, parents digging their children out of debris, the slogans don't matter. They want food, safety, dignity. Unless diplomacy is revived and aid begins to flow freely, the war will continue, fueled by politics, sustained by silence. And history may not forgive those who let Gaza burn, again and again. With Farhan Khan, Bureau Report, India Today Global.